There's been another shooting incident near a US-backed aid distribution centre in southern Gaza. Gaza's Civil Defence Agency says 6 Palestinians were killed and several wounded by Israeli gunfire while gathering to collect food supplies. The Israeli military said it fired warning shots at suspects who approached them in a threatening manner. Separately, the Israeli military also announced today it's recovered the body of a Thai hostage who'd been held in Gaza since Hamas's October the 7th attack on Israel. Natapong Pinta was an agricultural worker in southern Israel when he was kidnapped. The Israel Defence Forces said his body had been retrieved during a special operation in the Rafah area of southern Gaza. Israel believes around 20 hostages are still alive in the territory. Our correspondent Barbara Usher spoke to us from Jerusalem. First, she told us more about this latest shooting incident.
Well, Lewis, it happened at a roundabout in southern Gaza where Palestinians gather before the aid distribution site opens. So this is the place where we've had those shootings earlier in the week. People gather, tens of thousands of them, waiting for access to this distribution site. And then in the process of getting to it, there have been firings and shootings, and dozens have been killed, hundreds injured. Now what happened, it sounds like something similar. An eyewitness, the Civil Defence Agency, said that the Israelis had opened fire on the crowd. What the Israelis said was they had warned the Gazans that this area outside the distribution centre was a combat zone from 6 in the evening to 6 in the morning. And that several individuals had approached them in a threatening manner, and they had opened fire with warning shots. They said they were aware of the reports of the casualties. Now, this is a similar scenario to what they talked about on Tuesday, when many more Palestinians were killed, that they had fired at suspects that veered toward them and didn't pay attention to warning shots. So this is quite a volatile area for the Palestinians to have to wait and pass through to get to the aid distribution site. The company or the organization that runs these distribution centers shut things down for a bit this week, trying to improve the centers, trying to improve because there's been massive overcrowding, and also to improve the safety. But it looks as if there's still that kind of dynamic where the Palestinians who gather for food in the morning are in danger of either death or injury.
And Barbara, given the similarities to those previous incidents that you are outlining there and the criticism of this particular aid operation from many international organisations through the week, how damaging will these reports be?
Well, I don't think they're going to improve the reputation of this model of distribution. There have been many criticisms, as you said, from international aid organizations and from the UN, but the ones that deal with how effective it is have pointed out that the way that they distribute aid, international aid organizations, is to take the food supplies to the communities and deliver them according to like a registration list to the people that they know need it in an orderly way. This is quite a different model because it requires Palestinians to come to several big distribution hubs, which means they have to travel from different parts of the Gaza Strip. Some of them walk for hours, which means they have to gather at a certain point until they're allowed in, and which creates these security issues we've been seeing, because at least in this southern hub, they have to pass through an Israeli military zone, which puts them in close proximity with Israeli soldiers. So, as I said, there were efforts this week to try to improve the situation and how it works. But given that something similar has happened again, that isn't going to stop the criticism.
And Barbara, let's move to the second significant development, the recovery of that body by the Israeli forces.
Yes, the Israeli army said that it had recovered the body of Natapong Pinta from the area of Rafah in southern Gaza. So it was a special operation, a joint operation with the military troops as well as intelligence agency, and they had been able to get precise information about the location of the body after conducting an interrogation of a prisoner, of what they called a captured terrorist. And they have brought the body back, and they have notified the family, which is preparing to receive Mr. Nutapong Pinta and bury him. He was a 35-year-old married father of a young son. He had come to Israel, like many people from Thailand, to work in the kibbutzes near the Gaza Strip in the agriculture there, and he was captured, the army says, on the day of the October attack led by Hamas, although the group that captured him was a different one. It was called the Mujahideen Brigades, brought into Gaza, and then the Israeli army says that he was killed in captivity. We did try to contact his wife. The BBC tried to contact his wife. She did not answer the call, but she did send a text with a photograph of his little son who was crying.
Barbara Plett-Usher with that update.